Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach here, and excited to spend a little bit of time with you here today. And I want to talk to you today specifically about the difference between being rich and being poor, and specifically about the different mindsets behind being rich and being poor, right? So it's very much a mindset. It's what you think about. It's the way where you put your money, where you put your time that will determine these things. And by the way, if you get some value from this post, which I hope that you do, and you are on the path to working for yourself and owning your own life, this Thursday, I'm holding a free training showing you exactly what I did to build a freelance business that turned into a marketing agency that makes me well over $175 an hour now, more than double that, and it's really, really awesome. I did that on the side of a job, on the side of my network marketing business, and I'm holding a free training on Thursday showing you exactly how I did that. But anyway, let's jump into this: the rich versus poor, right? So let's swap over to my screen here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so rich versus poor, and so we've got our three different avenues to take, right? Rich, average, or poor. And of course, when presented with these options, I wrote this out in a very systematic. I wrote this out this way for a reason, so that it looks like you can choose which one, and that's because you can. This is a true statement, I for sure have suffered from this. Maybe you have as well, where you feel like maybe it's not your fault that you've had the things that you've had wrong with you, or maybe not wrong with you, but wrong with your life, or maybe you haven't had success in a certain endeavor, and maybe there are reasons that you believe that it's not your fault. And I'm going to be honest with you, I still battle that today sometimes with our own businesses. If they're not, I wish we were quadrillionaires already, but we're not. We're doing okay, we're doing good, we work for ourselves, and that's awesome, but I'm not living in a $50 million mansion. I'm not giving $90 million away every year. So I have to accept the fact that I'm not in those places, either one, because I'm not making good choices, number two, I'm making good choices, but I haven't given enough time yet, or, there's really the only two reasons why not, right? So these are choices. Now let's look at why each one of these choices is the way it is. I'm going to jump straight into this. This is the way that each type of person handles their time and their money. Okay, so if we look at the bottom end of the spectrum, so we look at poor, the right side, poor people that are doing the worst financially and time broke as well, are constantly looking for handouts. They're looking for free stuff. These are the people that want to be, given everything. They think that they deserve a piece of everyone's pie because they exist in the world today. These are people that breathe their part of the air and, just walk among all of us without contributing really anything. They pass through society without ever leaving a mark that they were actually here. And, I would hate to say that there's a lot of people that fall into this camp, but truthfully there are. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that your income is at a certain level, but it means that your mindset is at a certain level, which almost always is a direct reflection of your income. So if you're legitimately just broke, there is a chance that this is going on in your head. And how do I know that? Because this is what went on in my head. I specifically remember 19, 20 years old, when I would constantly look for free stuff. I'd get people to buy me food, bring me lunch. I always wanted a bonus at work for just being there, just for being a part of the team that won. Even if I didn't hit my sales goals, the team did. So, I wanted a bonus as well. And it sounds so backwards when I say it now, or when I say it to you, you might think that sounds backwards. But, if you might be in this camp, and if you're in that camp, I challenge you to think about this. And if you like free stuff, we all like free stuff. No, who hates a deal? No one hates a deal, but if you seek out free things, free money, free handouts, that's not a good thing, right? Because next up is average, right? Average people, and they look to save everything, which is, save their time. They don't want to invest time into something that might not pan out. They're not going to invest money when they could save it for the future, right? If they could hold on to a few bucks now, they might need that someday. And there's nothing wrong with saving. We have a saving plan as well. But here's the thing: most people with this type of mindset will typically lose out on a potential $5,000 gain to save $500 today, right? and you just can't be successful with that mindset. Like, you have to be willing to sow into something before you can reap out of it, whether that's a business, whether that's an investment, whether that is like investing in knowledge, like, let's say an online course, or let's say it's a conference or a book or an audio or whatever. You have to invest into those things, right? Either with time or with money or with both. And lastly, of course, is Rich, and that is the investing side of things. So that's where you're going to invest just those things we talked about, investing money into education. Maybe it's investing money into tangible things, like maybe it's real estate, right? You can't be a real estate mogul if you're saving your way there. You have to be investing, right? You can't acquire a new skill set by saving all of your time. You have to invest that time into learning that new skill set, and most likely you have to invest money into the education behind it, and then into the application of it, right? So like, let's say you want to learn online advertising. Like, you have to pay money to probably learn how to do it. Then you have to invest money invest the time to learn it, and then you got to probably invest more money to actually put your stuff out there and see if it works. An application, right? So the left side of the coin, the investing, actually seems like it might be the most risky, because you're putting stuff out there without a guaranteed return. The saving side, you have a quote-unquote guaranteed return because you're saving it, you're holding it. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is something that I battled with a lot, and I still kind of do. Like when we make a good amount of money from, let's say a new client or a new deal that we got, or maybe we get a bonus or something, like, a lot of times, I literally do save it. I'll stash it, and I'll just, it's nice to have it there. And you have to have a good stash. Like, we've got, a good amount of money in the bank to care for ourselves in case everything explodes. But at a certain point, you just got to go for it if you're trying to go for it. And you just got to start, putting things back out there, re-sowing. And this is something I fall into. I kind of bounce between the rich mindset and the average mindset, to be honest, because like sometimes I go into really heavy investing mode. And then when I start making a bunch of money from that investments, I'll start going into save mode, and I'll slow myself down. And so that's something that I've actually been personally working on in the past, really month or so. I've just been really, really pushing myself and investing way more time, way more money into projects and into people and to things, business things that I may not have done a few months ago, because I was just enjoying the security of that money that I made when I was investing. So these are three separate mindsets. And if you're on the right side, if you're at the poor end of the spectrum, if you're looking for free stuff, you got to break out of it. And you don't have to like stair step this. It's not like you go from poor mindset to average, then to rich. Like, you can just skip and say, what, screw the free stuff, I'm going to invest things, I'm going to make this happen. And then if you can, just like, you don't need to have the saving mindset to save money. Like, we still save money, and I don't want to have a saving mindset. It's just I have an equation that I save X amount of dollars for everything I make, and that's it. That's where it ends. Everything else I invest, and I try to go more. I try to impact more people's lives, try to serve more people, and make the world a better place the way we want to. So I'm going to switch back my screen here, and I just want to say, it's going to take a second. Here we go. Just want to say thanks for spending some time with me. Like I said, if you found this valuable, do me a favor, share this, get the message out there. I rely almost solely on you sharing this in order for more people to learn about this stuff. And lastly, if you found this valuable, you really, really find the training on Thursday valuable, because I did just this. I invested in myself, in my mind, invested a lot of money to learn how to become my own boss before I was able to with my other business. And as a result, within 9 months, I was making on average $175 an hour, upwards of $350 or more every hour I worked, for just this, for investing time and money to learn how to build my own at-home marketing freelance business. And if you want to join me on Thursday, we're holding that. It's a live training, and I would love to see you there. So with that, guys, that's it. And